Have you ever been betrayed by the people you trusted most? The ones who promised to love you in sickness and in health? My story starts on what should have been a normal day, but it ended with a devastating car accident that stole the use of my legs. I woke up in a hospital, paralyzed from the waist down, my world shattered. But the physical pain was nothing compared to what came next. My husband, the man I loved, and his family, who I thought were my own, saw my wheelchair not as a tool for my recovery, but as a burden. Dead weight, they called me. Their whispers turned to shouts, their concern to contempt. The love they once showed me vanished, replaced by cold, hard resentment. They saw me and my precious little girl as nothing more than obstacles in their perfect life. One bitter winter night, as a blizzard raged outside, their cruelty reached its peak. My husband's mother looked at me with pure disgust. "We can't afford to keep feeding useless mouths," she sneered. My husband, stone-faced, just nodded in agreement. They dragged me from my bed, forced me into my wheelchair, and threw me and my sobbing daughter out into the raging storm. The door slammed shut, the lock clicked, and we were left to freeze. They called us filthy rats, leaving us for dead in the biting wind and swirling snow. Huddled together for warmth, my daughter shivering in my arms, I felt a flicker of despair. But then a different feeling took over, a cold, hard resolve. They thought they had cast aside a helpless, broken woman. They thought they had rid themselves of a burden, but they had no idea who they were dealing with. They didn't know about the secret I had been keeping. You see, before I met my husband, I was a different person. I had built an empire, a legacy that was now worth a staggering $101 million. They threw me out into the cold, believing I had nothing. They were about to find out just how wrong they were. This wasn't the end of my story, it was the beginning of their nightmare. As we huddled in the blizzard, a pair of headlights cut through the snow. It was my loyal assistant, alerted by a secret emergency system I had in place. She wrapped us in warm blankets, her eyes filled with fury at what had been done to me. "They will pay for this," she vowed, and I knew she was right. From the warmth of her car, I made a phone call. It was time to unleash the full force of my power. The next morning, as the sun rose on a world blanketed in white, my husband woke up to a living nightmare. His bank accounts were frozen. His company, which I had secretly funded, was facing a hostile takeover by me. The luxurious life he and his family had enjoyed was crumbling around them. They received a formal eviction notice from the house they lived in, a house that, unbeknownst to them, was legally mine. They came begging, pounding on the door of the 5-star hotel suite where I was now staying with my daughter. Their faces were masks of disbelief and terror. It was all a misunderstanding. My husband cried. His mother was on her knees, pleading for forgiveness. But I just looked at them, my expression as cold as the blizzard they'd thrown me into. Misunderstandings do and involve leaving a paralyzed woman and a small child to die in a storm, I said, my voice dangerously calm. I didn't just want my money back. I wanted justice. I exposed their cruelty to the world. The story went viral. Their friends and community turned their backs on them. They became outcasts, just as they had tried to make me. They lost everything, their home, their money, their reputation. They were left with nothing but the consequences of their own greed and heartlessness. Today, my daughter and I have a new life, one built on real love and strength, not lies and betrayal. I that dedicated a portion of my fortune to a foundation that helps victims of domestic abuse and people with disabilities who have been abandoned. My accident may have taken my ability to walk, but it gave me something far more valuable, the clarity to see who truly deserved a place in my life. They thought a wheelchair made me weak. They were wrong. It became my throne. Thank you so much for watching my story unfold. If it resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Your support means the world to me. See you next time.